Okay, real quick, I'll just won't spend much time on Newkirk, and then I'll talk a little bit about these guys, and then also, the game didn't go the way you wanted to, but that is a pretty big deal whenever you're playing a team of that caliber, Harding up here, like we did for as long as we did, and it's just. I'm with Coach Walter. Obviously, there's a lot of Rangers in this room. This week is. I'm with you, brother. I feel you. Going on to Newkirk, we talked last week. I told you they were a team that was struggling a little bit to find an identity, and they obviously were. But I also said I was a little nervous because I didn't know how we were going to respond with these guys not being able to reach their ultimate goal, which was to win playoff football games. Mathematically, we could not get in with a win no matter if we got 15 points or not. So they knew that going into the week. They were big up front. They had some big kids. They had some good skill kids. So I was a little bit worried, to be honest with you, about how we were going to respond. And I thought, just to be quite frank, I thought we came in and stuck our nose right in the middle of it, got in the middle of them early. We kind of struggled with rhythm a little bit of time. But if you were at the game and you saw what we dealt with as far as officiating, then you can understand not being in a rhythm. We had 3 touchdowns called off. 2 in one drive. 2 in one drive. 3 total. That crew, which I'm not going to say by name, but that crew, since they've been doing Alva games, since I've been the head coach, has called 5 touchdowns off the board at home. At home. They've called 5 touchdowns off the board. So we're either really, really not very disciplined football team, which I think we are, or they're not very good. So I'm going to go with the latter. But what I told them too was, which got me a flag. I've been flagged 2 times as a head coach just twice. I know, right? I've been flagged more as an assistant. 2 times as a head coach here and at El Reno and other places I've been, and they came from the same guy. Same guy. And once he's been on our sideline, once he's been on their sideline. And he threw it all the way across the field. All I asked him was what he was looking at. I just said, what are you looking at? And then all I said, just see if yellow hanky flying at me. So those guys need to get a little thicker skin if they're going to come back here and call games, I guess. Or I don't know how we're going to handle it, but they're just not good. But that being said, it was kind of cool that I had it broke down. Over 300 yards of offense called back in penalties.
Oh yeah, easy.
And we still finished almost 500.
We had 2 52-yarders called back and a 75-yarder called.
Yeah, just in one. Just the touchdowns. Yeah. So but the way they kept responding is they never got frustrated and quit. They kept coming right back. Kept coming right back. We'd score. We'd get called back. We'd move back 15 yards, we'd score again. These aren't just, we're not talking about scoring from the 10-yard line. We're talking about 50, 60-yard touchdowns. So I thought that was pretty neat, the way they responded in their senior night. We go out third quarter, which was kind of the debacle, and we took the lead. Austin had to come in and play quarterback for us, and I can't say enough about him as far as toughness because he's lacked reps this year because of injury. He's been playing all season with an injured knee, and so you can't get that guy reps at quarterback because you're just hoping you can get him reps at running back a little bit. And so he comes in because Mitch got cheap shotted 3 times in a row. If you're at the game, you saw that. And the first time, hey, it happens. It's football. Second time, I'm concerned. The third time, those kids are being told to do that. So if you want to know why the score ended up 52-0, that's why. It could have ended at 35, and we could have all slapped hands and ran the clock the fourth quarter, but I made sure they knew that wasn't going to happen. And these guys made sure they knew. So if we could have scored 70, we would have. The way they were conducting themselves on the field was, they talked a lot of trash. They were 0-9 team. We scored 72 on them last year. We weren't trying to. Trying to pull off. We scored 52 this year. Scored 24 points in the last 2 games. I don't know what they'd have to talk about. But you know, either way, we finished the game really well. I don't know if you got to see, you know, everybody but Justin and Chase. Of course, Chase didn't score in the game, but everybody else got some type of score. K-Mac got to play the running back at the end. You got to see a 6'6" guy take a handoff on 2-point conversion, which was pretty impressive.
I had to double check. Is that? That's
Yeah. Which I knew it was a mistake. I did it. I knew because first of all, Kennedy scored 2 plays, and then I put Ritter in there just to give him some love, and they come on the sideline. Coach, I could have been carrying the ball all season. What have we been doing? You know, I knew it when I did it. I thought, oh, this is going to backfire. This is going to be good. So, but it was really fun. It was a great night. We could have sent these guys out on a better night. You know, Hayden had his best game, I thought, overall of the season, and challenged him to do that, and he stepped up and did it. You got to see Hars wear number 31 for his last game here, which I thought was cool. You know, he was on me all week about it. I practiced him at fullback, which I think he kind of knew because we were throwing passes to him in practice into the flat. And he was like, Coach, am I going to get to wear 31? I said, no. He's like, confused. Well, I can't catch a pass. I'm like, I know, don't worry about it. So we surprised him with 31 before the game. He got to wear his last game. So, you know, that was kind of special. And these guys like their alternate jerseys that we got, so we threw those out at the last minute to them. And, that was pretty neat. But as far as the season goes, it ended really well. It's disappointing that we're not talking about who we're playing this week because, quite frankly, I think we would have a chance to win that game. That's how tough our district is. Talking to other coaches that are in our district getting ready, they've all said the same thing to me. They said, you guys are just as good as anybody in our district, and theirs too. It just depends on what night you get. You know, so that's a lot of compliment about what these guys have been able to accomplish in 2 seasons. In 2 seasons, coming from one of the worst teams in their class. You know, not just district, class, I mean all of 2A. To being considered being up there in the top 15 is pretty impressive. So I wish like I said, I wish we were playing this week. We're not, but they ended it really well. You know, just real quick, those of you that I think you all know them, but Austin Sklar, raise your hand. Kenny McKnight, Justin Meyer, Chase Jones, Hayden Caldwell, Grant Ritter, Ethan Harsman. So those are your seniors. Again, just at the end, you know, Justin didn't get to play the last 4 weeks. 5 games, but 4. I guess it would have been 5 weeks. So it happened during that 5th game. So, you know, Justin had some nerve damage in his knee from practice. He's been battling that. I know it's been tough for him to watch, but he's on the mend. Things are going well, which is good. There was a little touch and go there for a while, whether he was going to have some damage for an extended period of time. But talking to his dad, it seems like everything's on the mend. Chase Jones, the guy who's been done everything for us through the years, played middle linebacker, played some fullbacks, wore 33 for most of his career. Then he's had shoulder injuries, had neck injuries, had concussions. He's just kept playing. He's just kept playing. Tried to make himself available, fight through some pain. And I thought the last 4 games of the season, he's really found another level to play. And we're really proud of him. Hayden Caldwell's a guy that's made big play after big play for us. And that's something that we're going to miss next year. It's going to be hard to replace the big play. And he brought that to the table. He made the switch to receiver for us from running back. It was a selfless act. I thought it was great. And did a great job in the secondary. And like I said, it's going to be tough to replace that speed on the field. Grant Ritter, 6'6" tight end, defensive end. I mean, those don't come around very often. And Grant's done a great job, I thought, especially the last 16 months or so of getting in the weight room and getting strong. You know, from his freshman year to now, and seeing him in between that transition, he's really put some mass on, comparatively speaking, to where he was at, and was able to make a huge contribution to our offense and defensively. It's hard to get the edge with a 7-foot reach. So, I mean, Grant did a great job, really proud of him. Ethan Harsman, I've told y'all too, is a guy that you want to. I'm very thankful we had him in the program at the time in which we had him, because those younger kids see a work ethic there that you want to be infectious. You want them to see what it takes to be great and to be strong and to be a leader by example. And Ethan brought all those things to the table for us. He, again, just like Chase, he wore 51 this year because we needed him to play on the offensive line. We that wasn't the plan, but when Chase Bratton moved, we had to move somebody in there. And he's as fast and strong as the guy we've got, and he made the sacrifice for the team. Went from fullback to left tackle and played it all season and did a great job. And that's what it's all about, sacrificing for your teammates. And Austin Sklar, I mean, you guys have watched Austin now the last couple of years. I feel terrible for him because he had about 4 snaps this season of healthy snaps against Woodward. It took a helmet to the kneecap, cracked that kneecap, and has been playing with it and fighting inflammation and pain. And it's just been a long year for him. I know he's disappointed in the outcome, but you couldn't ask him to give you any more than he's giving you. And he's giving it to us. He's giving it to his teammates. He's giving it to you all. So it's something to be proud of, and I think he did a great job. Kenny McKnight came back, number 14. I could not get him to cut his hair. I did everything I could. But we made the arrangement. I said, okay, you can keep it, but you have to have that attitude. And he said, what do you mean? I said, well, I'm just saying, like when I was a kid, those linebackers that had the hair like that, that's an attitude. Like, you can't be just okay and have a haircut like that. You have to be a little bit nasty. And so we made that deal, and I thought he came through on it. He's another guy that had to fight some injuries there late and try to get back on the field for senior night, and he did. Had a great season, dedicated himself, halfway through the summer, I'll say, last summer. On the 1st of July, said, I'm not going to miss another day, and he hadn't missed a day. So I'm really proud of him. Proud of all these guys and their accomplishments and what they've given to the program and to the community. You hear me say it all the time. I ask a lot of their time, and I do. But it's worth it in the end result. It's hard not to be proud of this team and this record, even though we're not playing this week. But it's definitely headed in the right direction, and these guys are a big part of it. So thanks, guys.